Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt with the Movement System. In this video, we're gonna show you 5 exercises to improve your running speed. Whether you're trying to take off for a sprint to make a play in soccer, or whether you're trying to PR a 5K, there are specific muscle groups associated with the gait cycle and running that we need to strengthen the right way. Running can place 2 to 8 times body weight forces through different muscles of our lower extremity, so it's important that we're supporting our running with good quality strength training. We're gonna show you 5 exercises, some strength exercises, as well as some plyometric exercises to prepare your lower body for the demands of running. Let's go ahead and dive into it. All right guys, let's go ahead and welcome Tanner here, strength coach, basketball athlete. So our first exercise is going to be the split Pogo. This is a really good exercise for running because it's going to place our body into a quick stretch of the Achilles behind the body, which is really important to be able to prepare for the takeoff phase of running. So the way we're gonna do split Pogos, we're gonna find a split position where our feet are split apart about a little bit farther back than lined up with the toe to the heel. And then from here, we're gonna use a arm scoop technique. I always like to start low, so start with really low Pogos, and then we're gonna build up over the course of about 20 seconds, so that way by the end of the 20 seconds, we're going as high as we can. This is gonna ramp up that contraction through the Achilles tendon, through the calf musculature, to that full split Pogo hop, and then we're just gonna kind of ramp down and rest. I recommend doing 4 sets of 20 seconds of these exercises with each leg forward. So 20 seconds to the right, 20 seconds to the left, pause for a little bit, and then do that 4 rounds. All right, exercise number 2 for runners is going to be our power step up. And there's a specific way that we want to set this up. What we want to do is make sure that our knee is bending no more than 90 degrees. So if your box is pretty high, then you can even add plates here to reduce the range of motion, because we really want this to be focused on the top range of motion here and very powerful and explosive. So in terms of weight that we're gonna be holding, this could be anywhere from 10 to 40% body weight. So if you're around 200 pounds, at the minimum around 20 pounds, at the maximum around 80 pounds. If you can't be explosive and leave the ground, then probably a little bit too heavy. So let's go ahead and show you how this works. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stomp down on that box and explode up. We're only going for 5 repetitions here. So 5 reps as fast as you can, driving the body straight up. Each rep, we want that step down into the box, really aggressive, just like you are with your running. The goal with this one is to be explosive, like you're trying to hit your head to the ceiling. All right, moving on to exercise number 3, we have our long lever bridge. And this is one that I recommend to all runners. This is a really good exercise to train our hamstring muscle. Now, the way we wanna do this hamstring bridge is by starting in a glute bridge position, so go ahead and bend the knees all the way. We can start here, lift the hips up, and what our goal is with the hamstring bridge is to walk our feet out farther. So depending on how strong you are, you might be able to walk out just a few steps or pretty far. The goal would be to get all the way to 30 degrees of knee flexion, which is right about where Tanner's at now. Now, I wanna make sure though, when you're bridging up, that you still keep your knees, your hips, and your shoulders in line. If your hips start sagging down or dipping, so Tanner, give me like a little bit of that, that's not what we wanna see. We wanna make sure that you're not going out so far that you lose that full hip extension, leaving the hips up. So with that full hip extension and keeping the ribs down, using a little bit of a core brace here, we wanna see that straight line between the shoulders, hips, and the knees. A really good way to do this hamstring bridge is just starting out for 30-second isometric contractions. Whether you've pulled a hamstring in the past or you're just building a hamstring strength to help reduce the risk of hamstring pull, then this is a good starting point. Over time, as you get really strong, especially for our stronger runners, I want to see you progress all the way to a single leg variation. When we do this, we're going to bring the heels all the way together, touching together, and then we're going to bridge up. And you might need to reduce the length that you're going for this one. From this position with the heels together, we want to take one knee and march it up. So we want to make more like a 90-degree marching position here, and you're going to feel a really strong hamstring contraction on that single leg in this position. Our goal here is to hold for 10 seconds and then to alternate and march the opposite knee up. Once we progress to this single leg variation, it's even more important that we don't let that hip sink down, that we keep that full hip extension. And the way that we're gonna do this one is by alternating back and forth 10 seconds each side for 1 minute total. If you're progressed all the way to this single leg position, then I would recommend doing 3 minutes total, alternating 10 seconds at a time. All right, now with exercise number 4, we're gonna get into the fun stuff. And this is one of the favorite exercises of some of our hybrid athletes in our hybrid athlete training program. This is an alternating leg bound, and it's a very challenging plyometric exercise. This is really good for runners, especially runners who want to sprint and be very explosive. We're gonna have Tanner demonstrate. We're gonna start off by scooping the arms and taking one big long step, and then we're just gonna get farther and farther with each step. So the goal here with this exercise is to cover as much ground as possible, to go into that big, fast knee drive, and to time that well and get rhythmic with the double arm swing as well. We recommend doing this one for 20 yards, 3 times. All right, and then our 5th exercise that we recommend for runners is a trap bar deadlift or a heavy squat if you don't have a trap bar. Now, it's really good to do specific strength, like some of the gait drills and some of the hamstring specific work that we talked about, but it's also good to build general lower body strength because heavy exercises like this trap bar deadlift are gonna build good bone mineral density and good strength that's gonna carry over to helping our other exercises. So it's really important that we're training a general double leg lower body strength exercise, and I think the trap bar is a really good option, especially for runners. The way we're gonna do this is we're gonna squat down, we're gonna grab those handles, and we're gonna really focus on getting some hamstring tension in this starting position. So we're gonna pull maybe about like 50% of the weight, and then we're gonna get a good aggressive pull here all the way to the top. Now, in terms of how much you can load this will depend based on the time of year. In our hybrid athlete training program, a lot of our athletes are doing power trap bar deadlifts right now, but throughout the year, we might also train these for strength on different days of the week and in different seasons. So sometimes you wanna go really heavy where you can barely lift the weight for 3 reps. And other times throughout the year, you wanna be explosive and stand up as fast as possible with closer to 50% of your 1 rep max. All right, guys, use these exercises in your training to build up your strength for running. I recommend 3 times a week knocking out these big movements. If you want to see how this is implemented into a full training program, you can check out our hybrid athlete program in the description below. That is a program that runs year round and has seasons of training focused a little bit more on power, focused a little bit more on strength, to make sure you're continuing to make progress, not only with your running, but also with your strength and your plyometric strength, so that way you can remain athletic. There's a link in the description below to try 7 days for free. Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.